Welcome to the United Pubcast. Manchester United have officially unveiled their first signing of the season. Well, the season, you know what I mean, of the summer. Exciting news. Always, obviously, probably the worst kept secret in football. Obviously, we have known for a while now that Mason Mount was joining Manchester United. Obviously, the hardest thing to keep a secret in Manchester United, but that is the life we currently live. And but obviously, when you do see the official photos and the official announcement, we're all kids at heart, and it does hit you a little bit different. So it's great to see Mason Mount in a red shirt. I do like the photo there. I'll get into the sort of the interviews and everything, but classy little photo. I'm not sure about the Manchester United socks. Is that how the socks are actually going to come through with a little bit of a pattern? I'll have to have a discussion about that. I would like to see maybe a Chelsea photo on the floor or something. But yeah, if you are happy with Mason Mount, officially unveiled as a Manchester United player, please do leave a like on the video. Unfortunately, maybe a little bit early for Larry to get home. If he gets home in time, maybe he can join us. We can have a bit of a discussion, but get your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, just enjoy it because, as I said, look, we're going to be so stressed in a few months for a 9-month stretch in regards to results and performances and everything. But as I said, we're always sort of kids at heart. And when you do see a new player, it's well, like it or not, it's a shiny new toy. You do like it, even if you didn't want Mason Mount 6 weeks ago. Now you see how everything unfolds. You sort of watch him on YouTube. You read a little bit more about him. You think, hang on, no, he will be a good sign. If Erik Ten Hag wants him, there are obviously positives there. So do let me know your thoughts on Mason Mount. And I'll sort of go through, I'm sure he has his interview. I'll go to the Man United website and see what quotes are there. Obviously, we've discussed also the video, sorry, he did the other day in regards to saying goodbye to Chelsea. That was interesting because I thought it was fine. It was just sort of your standard sort of thank you message, goodbye. Again, well, there's no hiding from the fact Mason Mount is a Chelsea fan. We can't hide from that, but it really rattled Chelsea fans, which sort of did amuse me because obviously he did it with blonde hair, and he obviously had blonde hair a while ago. So he had that saved in his drafts, that goodbye message for about a month or so, which that shows you how long he knew that he was joining Manchester United. The deal was done over a month ago. If you go by his haircut. But good to see you, Eric. As always, glad United aren't doing over-the-top presentations anymore. Excited to have Mount to help us in midfield on the attacking side of things. Worried Casemiro might be left to defend on his own. You'll have to get into how he sort of fits into the midfield and how that sort of impacts other players, especially Casemiro. I think just off the top of my head, Mason Mount is almost, I wouldn't say direct replacement, but sort of really stiff competition, if not better, than Christian Eriksen. Just in regards to Erik Ten Hag's setup, I think that is where he's going to sort of fit in, especially with the concerns we had around Christian Eriksen at the end of the season in regards to just sort of his energy, his physical attributes in terms of getting up and about the pitch. Mason Mount, probably his biggest quality is his energy. He's full of running, so I think he's pretty much comes in for Christian Eriksen, but that's not to say Christian Eriksen doesn't have sort of a big future this season. It's good, obviously quality and depth definitely adds quality. And Rob, very happy with this signing. Good to see you as always, mate. So look, I'll go to the official website. I'll bring it up here. United signed Mason Mount. See if it gives any details on any fees, which they usually don't do, but I'll give it a quick read. Mason Mount has joined Manchester United on a contract running until June 2028 with the option for a further year. That's quite standard for Man United to put that option for the further year to protect them. I'm pretty sure it's probably standard with pretty much every single player. You would think the 24-year-old midfielder has made 279 club appearances, scoring 58 goals, contributing 53 assists. The Champions League winner was Chelsea's Player of the Year for both 2021 and 21-22 seasons. It's always sort of interesting to go back to that in terms of if you listen to Chelsea fans at the moment, he's shocking. He's a shocking player. Good to get rid of him. They've been singing his praises for the last 3 years, maybe not the last 6 months, but he has been their best player. And even in that sort of Champions League winning season, I do believe he got Player of the Season then. I've lost track of what year was that. Was that 2021? I forget. You know what I mean. But he's extremely sort of pivotal for Chelsea's sort of success during that time. And don't let a Chelsea fan say that, he's not a good player, obviously. The reason they are so hurt by this news is because he's a good player. He's hurt them. It's like if Marcus Rashford left us. If Marcus Rashford left, we would sort of try and scrape positives. Oh, no, he's only doing it for the year. He's too patchy in form. But would only sort of lash out because it would hurt us. One of our own leave and one of their own has left for a bigger club, and it stings, and they have to deal with that. We don't have to deal with that this window. But he has 36 caps for England, played a key role in his country's run to the European Championships in 2021. Mason Mount said, "It's never easy leaving the club where you grew up, but Manchester United will provide an exciting challenge for the next phase of my career. having competed against them, I know just how strong the squad is that I'm joining, and I can't wait to be part of this group's drive to win major trophies. Everyone can see that the club has made big steps forward under Erik ten Hag. Having met with the manager and discussed his plans, I couldn't be more excited for the season ahead, and I'm ready for the hard work expected here. I'm hugely ambitious. I know how it feels to win major trophies and what it takes to do. I'll be given everything to experience that again at Manchester United. John Murtagh has also said something, obviously the football director. Mason is an extremely intelligent footballer who has so many fantastic technical qualities that will significantly add to our squad. We have admired his talent for a long time, so we're delighted that he has chosen the next steps in his career here at Old Trafford. His style of play and attributes are both a perfect fit for this squad, and we all believe that he'll only improve further working with Erik ten Hag and his coaching staff. Mason himself is a world-class player. Interesting words there. Look, I wouldn't say I disagree or agree, but interesting for the football director to come out and say that about someone who sort of does divide opinion, but each to their own. But he also has the ability to improve players around him through his game intelligence and tactical awareness. We're particularly impressed by his strong desire to join United and his thirst for future success as we push to drive up our performance levels next season and beyond. First of all, George, good to see you as always. So do let us know your thoughts on just what you heard. The main thing that does stick out for me, I think Mason Mount's statement is very, very textbook. That's what you're obviously going to get. My interesting bit here is John Murtagh. Mason himself is a world-class player. What do you think of that? Do you think that's something the football director, obviously it's high praise for him, obviously that sort of makes Mason Mount feel 10 foot taller. That's obviously good for his confidence, which is a good thing. But I think that'll start to make a few headlines. That's interesting because I wouldn't put him in the world-class category. I think he's defined world-class. I think he's a top-class player. Is that the bracket below? I'm not sure, but I'm surprised they did that. Unless you're signing Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, it's hard to put that label like in an official capacity like this official announcement. I do find that interesting. Not to criticise John Murtagh for it, but that did spring me by surprise there. But interesting. So I'll just bring up the Twitter, see if there's any more tweets from Man United. But thoughts in the comments. Mason Mount to Manchester United. I think I speak on behalf of a large chunk of this fan base that 6 weeks ago, this wouldn't have been received well. This signing. Forget the business side of things, forget the goalkeeping situation. Just Mason Mount, the player coming in. I don't think many fans, after the FA Cup final, I don't think many fans would have sort of taken too kindly to it. But when you read a little bit more into it, when you see his situation, when you see our situation, when you see what Erik ten Hag wants, when you weigh up our issues in midfield, I think we do say, hang on, no, it probably is a very good signing. Now we can discuss the business side of things and was a good business financially? Maybe not. Maybe Chelsea did get the better of it. Now, I know Chelsea's starting price was around 80 million. Obviously, we did get that down quite a considerable amount, but I think all of us at the start of the window said 1 year left on Mason Mount's contract. What would you be thinking? 30, 40 million? Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to go over 40, 45. We've gone 55, 60. So we have paid over the odds. There's no doubt about that, but that's going to come with the territory as Manchester. The amount of money we pump into the club, stupidly, every single season, they might as well spend it. They might as well spend it on the football pitch. So we'll get into a Glazer discussion in a little bit, and hopefully it's their last order of business. Signing Mason Mount, and they can go out not with any grace, but on a somewhat upward trajectory because it was a much-needed signing, no doubt about that. But Michael, good to see you, mate. Great sign. Hopefully it works out for him. Still in desperate need for a striker. Yeah, definitely can't sort of shy away from the fact he's a good addition. He's not the priority, and I think that's where a lot of the frustration around the arrival of Mason Mount this window or this signing specifically has sort of stemmed from in regards to, okay, he's good, yeah, I can take the sign-in. It's not what we need. Okay, yeah, we do need to address our midfield, of course, but currently we don't have a goalkeeper. Okay, David De Gea might come back, might sign deal, but as things stand, we don't have a goalkeeper. Dean Henderson and Tom Heaton are the only ones technically contracted to the club. They obviously can't be first choice next season in a successful campaign. So we need a goalkeeper, someone to stand in between the sticks at kickoff against Wolves. And then secondly, there's no hiding for the fact we're in desperate need of a striker. That is sort of just where the simple need is. We need someone to score goals. And it doesn't matter how good Onana plays out from the back. Doesn't matter how good Christian Eriksen and Mason Mount create for Bruno Fernandes to get the ball up in between the sticks at the other end of the pitch. You need someone there to put it in. And unfortunately, we don't have that. Obviously, we'll discuss Anthony Martial's future in a little bit probably, but yeah, I agree with Mike. We'll definitely need a striker, no doubt about that. He looks good in red, doesn't he? I'll just bring that up there. As I said, we knew this signing was happening, but when you do officially see someone, you're like a little kid. You see, like, I'll be honest, I wouldn't say I hated Mason Mount, but I didn't like Mason Mount. I didn't like Mason Mount because he was a Chelsea fan, not because he's a good player, a bad player, whatever. He's a Chelsea fan. I don't like Chelsea fans. But now you see him in red, and it completely flips. You think, yeah, no, he suits red. And you can't wait to see him maybe kiss the badge against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. That would be a good one. And obviously they're signing the contract. So do let us know. I'll keep Twitter open in case anything else does pop up. But yeah, any other thoughts in and around Mason Mount? And the discussion obviously can go in and around sort of the next priority. As I said, goalkeeper and striker. There does seem Fabrizio Romano has put something out a couple of minutes ago. I'll put it on there. In regards to Onana in terms of an official, I don't know what capacity, but pretty much an official bid / approach for Onana towards Inter Milan. He did get the fee up. I'll bring the fee up here for Fabrizio Romano, obviously the Declan Rice. Where was he? Had a little bit ago. I'll just bring it up here. Obviously the Mason Mount signings. Here we go. Understand Manchester United have presented in the morning their verbal proposal for Andre Onana, £39 million total package, add-ons included. The bid will be official soon. So obviously he is expecting sort of the paperwork to go in for that bid. Inter expects €60 million for Onana, add-ons included. No agreement at this stage. Well, you're paying £40 million and €60 million. I'm not sure what the conversion rate, if any mathematicians can throw that in there for me, but that does seem it's maybe around £10 million off, €10 million off, you'd think. In regards to that middle ground, would you be happy paying $50 million for Onana? Some would, some wouldn't. I think in the situation we're in at the moment, you have to. Whether that's good business or not good business, I'm not sure, but I think it's definitely a need to get that deal over the line. And the last line that Onana keen on the move. I've never seen Fabrizio, not to criticise Romano, I've never seen him not say a player's not keen on a move. I think whenever he's talking about a player that's sort of linked with the club, the player wants the move. Sometimes players don't want the moves, but I'm sure Onana does. Who wouldn't want to go from Inter Milan to Manchester United? No doubt about that. Sub, good to see you, mate. We'll never understand why all our transfers have to be protracted. Still happy, though. It's the nature of the beast with Manchester United in regards to, as I said, in terms of Mason Mount's goodbye video to Chelsea fans, just judging by his haircut, that was done a month ago. So he's known for a month that he's joined Manchester United. So all the journalists putting all these not agreements, Mason Mount knew. Now, has he done this on the assumption that he's very confident a move was going to happen? Maybe. But, yeah, in regards to why it seems so protracted for Manchester United fans, it's what sells. Is anyone interested in a transfer to Aston Villa? No one's going to click on that. Is anyone interested in a story to a player to Chelsea? Probably not. But they get so many players, it's kind of boring. Everyone, Chelsea fans want to know, Arsenal fans want to know, Newcastle fans, Liverpool, Real Madrid, they all want to know what's happening at Manchester United, none more so than Man United fans. So you've got every big fan base in the world and every small fan base in the world, plus the biggest fan base in the world, all craving Manchester United news. So that's why I think these things they probably don't play out as long in regards to behind the scenes, but in regards to our need for sort of content, our need for information, clubs take advantage of it, media take advantage of it, and fans just revel in it. So I think that's why it is frustrating. I share the frustration, of course, but yeah, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast for Manchester United. Matt, good to see you, mate. Hope all is well, mate. Long time no see. Hope everything is well. What jersey number will he get? I think I was discussing with Rob a little bit earlier. My guess, and this is a calculated guess and absolutely probably wrong, I would say just a guess would be 19 with Phil Jones leaving the number 4 shirt. Now, can we confirm Phil Jones is going to relinquish the number 4 jersey without a contract? You would hope the number 4 does become available now. And you would guess Rafael Varane will take the 4. Now, Rafael Varane could take 5 if Harry Maguire is to leave, but you'd assume Rafael Varane will vacate the number 19 shirt. I would hope so. That obviously frees up 19. So I wouldn't, if I was a betting man, I would say 19 at the moment. But in terms of the numbers available, I'm not sure. Sabitzer was obviously 15. You'd have to say 15 is in with a shout. It'll be very interesting. We'll see what happens now this with Mason Greenwood, the number 11 shirt, because number 11 is a big shirt. Now, I don't think Mason Mount will get the number 11 shirt. But if Mason Greenwood is to go on loan, does that free up for Anthony? And then 21 becomes available to someone else. Very interesting in regard to squad numbers. They don't mean anything, but they mean everything to Manchester United fans. It's one of those weird little things that we do get caught up on. But George, why can't we do a payment plan for him? We did this when we sold Lukaku. I don't know who you mean this. Do you mean this in regards to Mason Mount, or your earlier comment in regards to thoughts on the news on Amrabat, or is this fake news? I think there's probably interest in Amrabat. I don't know how much sort of concrete sort of talks are going on behind the scenes, but you'd assume Amrabat. Maybe a lot of the talk is potentially sort of agent driven from Amrabat's side in regards to getting his name out there. Can you see Manchester United bringing in 2 midfielders this window? I would say no. Now, if we're to sell Fred and McTominay, you'd say definitely. Are we going to sell Fred and McTominay? I don't think that's the case. And I probably think that's the wrong thing to do. I think you need to keep some type of stability there, and sort of you can't go in too thin in terms of what Fred and McTominay offer you. The one thing they do offer you is sort of reliability in terms of availability. They're always there, and I think if you just sort of get rid of them in regards to just quality, okay, it could come back to bite you if Mason Mount, Bruno, and Eriksen get injured. You're going to need those legs in midfield. So I don't think it would be the right thing to do to sell Fred and McTominay, the both of them. You're speaking about Onana in regards to a payment plan. Why can't we do a payment plan for him? When we did this, when we sold Lukaku, look, every transfer is a payment plan. To be honest, we're probably still paying for Lukaku. That's how these transfers work. In terms of, let's say, we sold Onana for 50 million for 5 years, we're paying 10 million a season. Now, obviously, it's not cut in stone that it's going to be 10 million a season, but it's pretty much paid out over the course of a contract. So that's where maybe Chelsea's getting around with these 8-year contracts. But we'll still owe a lot of clubs a lot of money. I think Mark Ogden potentially said it. Maybe we owe about still around maybe 300-400 million in transfers to other clubs, which is crazy. But the thing is, we're obviously due that from other clubs as well. Maybe not that much because we don't sell too many players, but all these big money transfers obviously paid over many years. I think, there's so many. Lukaku, I think we're still owed a little bit of money for Romelu Lukaku, not so much when we bought him from Everton, but that's obviously how these transfer deals work. But interesting. So just a quick sort of short reaction today in regards to, we were going to go live a little bit later, but when news breaks, if we're home, we'll definitely react to it. It was going to probably be a bit of a somber chat a little bit later when I was going to talk about the Glazers, sort of new season, same Glazers, because at the moment, in regards to the ownership, we can be so excited about Mason Mount's arrival, of course. But in terms of the reality of the situation, the Glazers are still in charge. We're no closer to an ownership sort of resolution. And it kind of kicks you in the nuts a little bit when you you try to be excited, you try to look forward to a future under Erik ten Hag and new signers like a Mason Mount. But if the Glazers are still in charge, what's going to change? We've done this dance before. Well, exactly what's going to change? So I am excited, but also you think, well, hang on, there's bigger fish to fry here in regards to, yes, you do need to welcome players, you do need to be happy about it, but also the big issue, it hasn't been dealt with. And there is no sign in terms of it being dealt with, because we're always sitting here, we're all following Twitter. Okay, in 24, even Rio Ferdinand, forgot to, I love Rio Ferdinand. Everyone knows that. Even he's coming out, well, something's happening tomorrow. Nothing's happening tomorrow, mate. No football people have sources in regards to what's happening here. A few people from the Rain Group in New York, wherever they're based, the Glazers, and a few billionaires probably know what's happening. Everyone else is guessing. There is no source, there is no news, there is no updates, and we're going to cling on to anything we get. We'll discuss it, of course, but nothing's happening. The Glazers are just stalling for every penny they can get, and everyone's saying, well, there has to be a deadline. They're going to have to say yes or no eventually. They have to say yes when they want to say yes. That might be tomorrow. It might be in 6 months' time. It might be in 2 years' time. Who knows? And at the moment, it's just dragging out. And let's say, hypothetically, Qatar buy Manchester United tomorrow. Does that change anything for this window? Of course not. You assume that the change of ownership there will take months. I'm guessing it will take months in regards to getting everything over the line and sort of officially changing hands. So in terms of this transfer window, forget sort of going out and sort of splashing the cash on all these sort of priority areas. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be, not to be critical of the Mason Mount deal, but deals like Mason Mount, okay, who's coming towards the end of their contract, who's potentially out of favour? Are you really going to go and get a main man from another club like a Harry Kane, etc.? I think there's the interest and the desire definitely has to be that. The reality of the likeliness of that is probably, unfortunately, quite minimal. So I'm very happy with Mason Mount's arrival. Overall, though, the gut feeling is always a sinking one, because the Glazers, unfortunately, still in charge. Keep your comments coming in. I'll go for 5 or 10 more minutes. If you do have any other topics, unfortunately, I don't think Larry will be joining us. So fingers crossed he can maybe jump in. But George, what about the Saudi newspaper article today? I haven't seen that. I did see something about Qatar. there was an article I didn't read it, but I saw the headlines that a Qatari outlet had said something was happening in the next couple of hours or something. Did it? No, it didn't happen. I think when we see news from the Middle East or Saudi Arabia or Qatar, we think, oh, that must be closer to the source. No, look at English papers in and around English transfers. 99% of them are full of shit. Why are we going to expect a Qatar newspaper is very reliable? It might be the Qatar outlet who said we're hours away from a deal. They might be like the Sun or the Daily Mail. Like what we just think, or find it like when a business sort of Twitter account says something about the ownership, we think, oh, they're a business account. They must be reliable. Who knows? They might be like a sort of in the know on football transfers. We have no idea in and around this ownership, and that unfortunately just causes huge frustration. There's no doubt about that. It does, and but our hands are tied. And what can you do at the moment? We can only even apply pressure on the Glazers. Like at the end of the day, I discussed the protest the other day in front of the megastore. Okay, that's good. We obviously support the right for everyone to go and protest, and we support the message. To what result is it? To what end game? Like the Glazers simply don't care. So as fans, our hands are sort of extremely tied in and around the situation at the moment. We can only just sort of sit back and say, thank you very much for Mason Mount. Can you please give us another one? Like, what are we going to do if the Glazers say no? Now, if the Glazers were to go sort of fully backtrack and not sell the club and sort of officially announce they're not selling the club but they're going to stay, that was when, look, you don't want to sort of encourage violent protests or anything, but that's when I think you would see serious sort of ramifications for the club sort of by the fans in terms of getting games postponed and sort of, you don't want to say damage, but there would be I can't imagine what the situation would be if the Glazers officially announced they were going to stay. Now, I don't think that'll be the case. But I don't think it'll be the case that they sell soon. I think this is going to drag out for a few more months. I think people sort of get a little bit carried away that we're close and Qatar are very, very confident. I'm sure both sides are confident. They're still in it. If they weren't confident, they would have got out a while ago. But so confidence is high, I am sure. But I have a feeling, and people won't like to hear this, and I might be wrong. Fingers crossed I am wrong. I thought they were going to drag Mason Mount out for a few more days, so I was wrong there. My gut feeling around the ownership, they're going to drag this out for weeks, if not months. And does that help Manchester United? It doesn't. And that's frustrating, no doubt about it. But before I head off, is there anything else in the live chat? Throw it in there. We can have a chat. But nothing else on Manchester United, or nothing else on the Mason Mount signing. I'll just bring up, looks like a gallery for Man United have put out there in regards to Mason Mount. I'll bring his photos up, the latest photos on the Man United website. As I said, it does look good in red. I didn't like him in a blue shirt. He's a real Chelsea boy, but now he's a Man United player. So a good couple of photos there. Will be interesting. I never knew on this shirt, you can see the black on the back of the shirt. I've never seen the back of it. I can't say I'm a huge fan of that. I don't know how that will look in correspondence to the numbers on the back, but that's interesting to go on with that. I would have preferred just a thin stripe, but it kind of goes towards the back, which is a little bit frustrating for me, but it's a shirt, what do I care? But Mason Mount obviously has been to Old Trafford as well there, not just the photos at Carrington, so I'm sure he has had the tour around the stadium. Not sure his record at Old Trafford in regards to, or just his record in general against Manchester United. It seems Chelsea sort of a bit of a bogey team, but I think actually since Solskjaer came in, when Mason Mount sort of started his senior career, we've actually had it doesn't feel like it, but we've actually had a decent record against Chelsea. So I'm not sure if Mason Mount has ever scored at Old Trafford or scored against us at the Bridge. I'm sure he has. It seems everyone does score against us, but has Mason Mount scored against us or scored at Old Trafford? I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments, but a few more photos of him at Old Trafford. United's media team will be definitely milking this. So this photo obviously taken at Carrington outside the manager's office. You can see there. I'm assuming this photo behind him is him as a boy. I'm not sure. Thank God they didn't put the Chelsea photo in the Champions League there. But yeah, okay, good to see all the photos coming in for Mason Mount and Manchester United. So look, nothing else in the live chat. As I said, just my quick reaction. We will go live maybe a little bit later if anything else does break. But I was hoping Larry would be with us, but unfortunately not to be. But in the comments below, if you are watching on playback, just let us know your thoughts on Mason Mount, the arrival, the sign, the business side of things, the player side of things, and anything else you do want to discuss. I'm happy to continue the chat in the comments, shirt number, etc., where he does line up. Is he a direct replacement for Christian Eriksen? Is he maybe just an upgrade on Donny van der Beek? I'm not sure. Sort of where I don't think in that interview in the statement there was anything from Eric Ten Hag. It was from John Murtough, which is interesting. I would have liked to have heard something from Eric Ten Hag, but beggars can't be choosers. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Maybe a quote will come out later from Eric Ten Hag. And Mason Mount, look, he's been on holiday. He should be back in regards to training. The players are sort of back in and around, getting close to being back on the grass. So, hopefully it's 1 or 2 training photos soon for Mason Mount. But look, I do appreciate everyone joining us a little bit earlier tonight. We usually go live about now, but thought we'd react straight away to this news, which obviously good news, but the overriding feeling is good. But we need better now. We need better players, not to downplay Mason Mount's ability, but we need that quality at the right end of the pitch in regards to putting the ball in the back of the net. And obviously we need an improvement of goalkeeper at the moment, because there's no goalkeeper currently contracted to Manchester United. But the gut feeling is that going to happen with the Glazers in charge? And no matter what you think of Guitaros or Jim Ratcliffe, the Glazers are the ones in charge at the moment. So it is what it is. Good news, but yeah, things need to turn around, no doubt about that. But if you are happy with your role at Mason Mount, please do leave a like on the video. Hit subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so when we do go live, you can join us in the chat. Fingers crossed Larry will be available for the next show. But until then, hope everyone has a good one. Enjoy your Mason Mount content, and chat to you in a bit. Cheers.